Hi, my name is Greg from Pensacola, Florida. I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to announce our second project using the Hirst Arts molds and dental plaster. We just finished a 4-week descent board project. If you haven't had a chance to look at that, just look at the other videos on my channel. And it's a 10-part series. It's about 2 hours long, and it's a start to finish on creating the descent board game by Fantasy Flight Games in using the Hirst Arts molds. Our next project, and if you see on the screen, this is the projects page on the Hirst Arts website. He has a section that he lists off all the things that you can do. Right up here at the top was the descent game board. That's the one that we used to do that project with. And today I'm happy to announce that we are going to do the ship corridor project. Anybody that are the fans of the game Space Hulk, you'll notice that these tiles will be compatible with the game Space Hulk. And for the rest of this series, I'll refer to it as the Ship Corridor Project. That way I don't get in any trouble by GW or anything like that. So, but what you're looking at there is a picture of the basic set. And we are going to cast the advanced set, which includes all the pieces from the basic set in addition to the pieces here. So I'm going to blow this picture up. And if you can see that, those will be the extra pieces for the advanced set when we're done. So this is going to be quite a big project. My goal is to have it done by the time our we're running a Pelican 2 this year, on July 14th. So my goal is to have this done so I can have this out and we can play. This is just not going to be used for Space Hulk. I have some other sci-fi miniatures like AT-43. I'd like to run AT-43 Tactics through this same board. So this board is going to be multi-purpose. It's going to require a lot of casting. If you look up here, molds 325, 276, and 277 are all over 30 times each. And if you're doing the advanced set, you're going to cast an additional 20 plus times on 2 of the molds, 30 on one of them, and then we're going to have another mold with 16 casts. So this is going to be a pretty big, hefty project. But is that all we're going to do? No. We are also going to do the machinery build along with this. So this will kind of break up the project that I'm doing. If you look right here and you see those pieces, we're going to build all those also. So I have all the molds to do this, and we're going to go page by page, and I want to build at least one of everything that you're going to see in this picture. So we got the space corridor system, we got the machinery build molds, and this is going to be a lot of fun. So I'll take you around the table. I showed you the descent tiles that we were going to recreate. So this is a typical Space Hulk tile. This is from the 3rd edition of the Games Workshop set. So we are going to recreate this in the dental plaster. And I'll show you. Here's a picture of the 3rd edition box, and I'll spin this around real quick. So when it's set up, if you've never played Space Hulk before, this is how you do it. This game is currently out of print. Yes, you can find copies on eBay. They can get a little pricey, but with the Hirst Arts molds, and you can go to GW and you can buy some Terminators, you can buy some of the Gene Stealers from them as models. Technically, you can almost recreate this whole thing. You would just have to make some homemade components for the blip tokens and things like that. Other items. We have a 50-pound box of Merlin's Magic that we're going to use this time. This is going to be a big project, so I just went ahead and ordered 50 pounds. I've got my wet water right here that I'm going to soak my molds in. My scale, my cups, the vibrating platform for the trays. More cups, my iPad obviously for the directions, and something else that we're adding this time. This is something new off Bruce's site. This is the Almor Debubbleizer Surfactant. And so you saw I had to, if you go back to the descent videos, you saw I used a spray bottle with a couple drops of wet water in it. So I went ahead and I figured this was going to be a pretty big project. I'd like to try it out. So I went and ordered this. But what was different, what I did, and I should have already had this, oops, is I bought the 32-ounce bottle. So this is a much bigger bottle, and it comes with the smaller spray bottle. Bruce on his site says that approximately the 8 ounces of this will go for a 50-pound box of dental plaster, so we'll try that out. So that should give us about 200 pounds worth of casting with this 32-ounce bottle. All right. This is the package from you saw in the descent video when I was teasing it. So what I'm going to do is take a second. This is still sealed. This hasn't been opened, because if I would have opened this in the middle of that other project, we'd still be talking about the other project. So what I'm going to do is open this up. We'll take a look at the molds real quick, and then we'll talk about some other stuff. Be right back. All right, we have the package open, and in front of me what you're looking at is mold 276. This is the large catwalk mold. This is going to have some of our different 1.5-inch floor pieces. It is also going to contain our new door for this project. So it seems like a lot of the molds all have these different doors in them. The water cavern molds had a wooden door. The descent boards has like kind of a wooden and iron grate board. So the more and more I look at these molds, the more that I see these neat doors that they're coming up with. So this is mold 276. The next mold we're going to use is mold 277, and this is the large grate mold. So 6 1.5-inch tiles. If you look right here, this is all your little diamond plating. These are going to be like diamond plate floor tile pieces, and then you have a different texture right there. So 6 blocks, mold 277. That was a large grate mold. Then we have, this is mold 279. This is the large grate accessory mold. I'm excited to cast through this one because it looks like we're going to have our fan pieces right here. We're going to have hatch covers. This looks like it's going to be our ladder pieces. Another type of door. This is be more of a square door, and the door base is down here, and I have no idea what this is up here yet. And then some of the smaller pieces, again, I don't know what these are for yet because I haven't read that far ahead in the plan. So this looks like, this right here looks like it's like a ramp. You put one of these on each side of these doors that you're casting. So that is mold 279. Next we're going to go to mold 325, and this is the industrial edge mold. So around all these catwalk pieces we're going to have industrial edges, and we're going to use this mold to make them. So that's all this mold is it's going to make a texture with valves and all kinds of different stuff on it. So this is mold 325, the industrial edge mold. Mold 326. If you thought I was excited about the cavern floor accessory mold, well, this is the industrial accessory mold. So it looks like we have more crates, more barrels, but these are all going to be sci-fi based. So I am super excited to cast this mold to see what this stuff looks like when it comes out of here. So again, this is mold 326, industrial accessory mold. And this is mold 327. This is the machinery builder mold. We are going to use this mold. When I showed you the picture of the rockets and the generators and just all the pieces that are going to go on this space corridor board, they're going to be done out of this mold here. So we've got to cast this mold a bunch of times, and then we're going to build the machinery accessories that are going to go on this board. I think that'll be a nice breakup, being able to work on the tile parts, you know, and when you're casting and just consistently putting together repetitive tiles, the pieces out of here will be a nice breakup. There is a pretty big, it's really detailed on how to cast this. So when I do this, because there's so many little pieces in here, and these pieces are pretty similar, that how you separate them is really important. So organization up front will really speed up your builds at the end. All right, and so what I'm going to do now, and I'm going to do this for all my future videos coming up or project announcements, is that I'm going to take the molds, I'm going to put them into wet water. If you notice on these molds, when they ship from Bruce, they all have a light dusting of talcum powder on there. So I'm going to rinse them off, I'm going to put them into wet water, let them soak. And then when they're in there, I usually just kind of agitate it with my finger, and all this talcum powder will come right out. And we're going to cast each one of these molds, and then I'm going to come back onto the camera, and we're going to demold them, and we're going to take a look at them together for the first time each. So give me a little while. I'm just going to go ahead and cast all through this stuff, and when I come back, everything will be dry, and we'll start with the mold 276, and we'll walk our way right through and see what all the pieces look like. So be right back.